But I've lived an awesome life. I traveled and lived all over the country. I lived in South Carolina. I lived in Colorado. I moved down to South Carolina. Not South Carolina again. Southern Cal. I was up at Northern Cal. I came back to Colorado and then back to Southern Cal. And then I can't remember the sequence of it. But I've lived all over the country and had a ball doing it. And it has pretty much become irrelevant and the path to my failure. Even though I lived life successfully, aggressively, and played hard with a solid work ethic, here I am, 65 years old, living in my truck. But I haven't given up yet. Here I am doing a YouTube channel. I am, and this is high risk. You have no idea what it's like to talk to a camera and talk to it. I just noticed 15 minutes, and my first couple of videos I ran out of things to say in a minute and a half, and then I get it up to 3 minutes, and now this one I was going to try to make at 10, 12 minutes because ChatGPT said that's what I ought to do. And then I want to get into my lifetime experience of being aware of politics, being aware of what's going on and the shifts that I've seen over the decades. I entered the workforce before high school, so we're talking, pre-80. I've learned a lot. I think I am a wise old man. Even though nobody can see it, because I'm just a homeless schmuck living in my truck. It's like, no. So, you want open, honest, authentic conversations, stick with me. The worst part of all of this, the worst part wasn't losing the housing. It was losing everybody in my life. I have one friend from when I was housed, and I read an article where, what was the title of it? Long-term unemployed, why recruiters, family, and friends abandon you. And basically it boils down to is the awareness. My situation making it poignantly clear that the same damn thing could happen to them, and they do not want to see it. So maybe I see them on the streets, maybe I don't. And while I've been doing this, I have, I've made some new friends. Well, not a lot, but it actually took me 2 years. Just recently crossed the line with 2 people from associate conversations here and there into having friendships. And one thing I've done throughout all of this is constantly ask the universe, what do I need to be learning? Guide and direct me in learning what I need to be learning and living up to my full potential. So I'm not whining and complaining about being homeless. I'm not a victim of society. Yes, policies and conditions brought me here, but I'm still optimistic. I'm still going to get out of this. Well, I hope so. But again, my whole life, career, everything, personal development, I has always strived for excellence and advancing myself. And here I am putting myself out on YouTube. See who I might be able to teach some value, find some people I may learn something from, and make some money. Either having this get monetized and make money that way, or find people that played the game and won, have more money than they need, questioning their need to hoard and hold on to way more than they need, their kids need, or even their grandkids need. Help me out. So, talks about wages lagging and rents accelerating and safety nets thinning and aging reducing the margin of error. Because I'm 65. I don't have a whole lot of time to turn this around. ChatGPT says I don't want to be doing this to scare you, which I don't. Or ask for your sympathy, charity, or pity. Yes, I am going to ask for your money. But I'm going to ask you to grow and develop the ability to give me the money. Because what I do know is I have my challenges here, and they're highly visible, and everybody can see it. I know how challenged you are as well. You're grappling with something different. And like I say, that this need to hoard so much money, generations, way more than 2 or 3 generations could ever spend. Why are you still hoarding it? I say it's a psychological shorting. So I'm asking you to work on that. Help us out. Because I don't know, I don't have the time for policy changes. I don't have time for another president to come in and, determine that 140,000 actually is the new poverty level. Get into, if I wanted sympathy and pity, I can tell you some fucking stories. But that's not what I'm here for. I will tell some of those stories so that you know how I dealt with it and how I keep not just the smile on my face, but the smile on my eyes match. Thanks so much for joining me. Have yourself a wonderful night. You see me out and about. Give me a joy to the world. Thanks.